historian, memorial are very important. I will explain why. Sometimes people can very easily forget about history and forget about the dark side of history. So when that happens, memorial sometimes are erected or are here to remind us history. Our political science approach, our anthropological approach, our sociological or psychological approach, it's always very important to make sure that we learn about that period by looking at history, one part, and another side by trying to respect what we call the memory of those people who suffered from that very traumatic episode in the history of humankind.
What things go into like the design of their location, what kind of things that they are, how they're made, what they look like?
It depends. It depends. For example, if I give you the example of the Atlantic slave trade, today, if you travel to West Africa, or any, let's say, as an American, you travel to West Africa, or any African American who travel to West Africa can visit some sites. For example, we have a memorial we call the island, it's a whole island, we call the island of Gorée in West Africa, in Dakar, where I'm from. This island was dedicated because that was the island where many slaves were stopped before being deported to the Americas. So today, the whole island is a memorial because that whole island is visited by people around the world to go over there in order to remind, as a sort of pilgrimage, to remind about that very traumatic episode of the Atlantic slave trade. So when you come on that island, you have some very specific construction architecture based. So you have what a slave house looked like back to the 15th, 16th, to the 18th century. The same architecture remained, the same shape, the same type of house where the slaves were stuck. That's a kind of memorial. For example, architecture, based on the architecture that remind us the very traumatic episode of the Atlantic slave trade history.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.